guys, I'm Anne-Marie DeWitt from Fireside Games, and we're very excited because we just got Munchkin Panic in. So we're going to unbox the game and show you guys what we've got inside. We're very excited about it. I do feel like I need to say that we did open it when it first arrived so that we could get feedback to our manufacturers. So you're going to see some things that normally have shrink wrap on them, like the box itself, that don't have shrink wrap right now. So full disclosure. Okay, so here's the box. Very cool. We're excited about the cover. Give you a good shot of that. So it was illustrated by John Kovalik. Very excited about the art that he's done. The design was from Eric Kemper. He's the artist who did the redesign for the 10th printing of Castle Panic, which is in our 5th year right now. So give you a shot of the back of the box as well. So we've redesigned our back of the boxes so that it's really easy for retailers and customers to pick it up and understand how to play in a simple 1, 2, 3. Phil Reed from Steve Jackson Games recommended that approach to us, and we thought that was a fantastic way to go. So we've tried to keep as much of the language down as possible and just show pretty art. So I will open the box now and show you what we've got inside. First of all, the rules. It's not a game without rules, so we've got those. Looks like the color's really nice. So we checked all that out earlier, and it's got everything it should, so we're excited about that. Really, once you read through the first 4 pages or so, you know what you need to play the game. And then the rest of this is just play details that you'll want for reference when certain cards come up and you want to make sure you're playing it correctly. List of all the monsters, so you know all the bad coming at you. And then of course, we have a sample turn to walk you through exactly how to play, so the rules aren't enough for you. And then, let's see, oh yes, but I skipped over it. We have game variations before that. And the big game variation in this game is that it includes the More Munchkin mini expansion. So we've designed this so that if there's not enough Munchkin, not enough backstabbing in the base game, we've included extra backstabbing for you. So we're excited about that. And the next thing you'll come to in your box is the board. Also not a game without the board. So you'll see that it's got, you know, the same colors and the same names of the rings as we have in Castle Panic, but you can see we've Munchkinized it. So Justin in his art direction with Gabby Runez were able to Munchkinize this board and make it something that looks like it belongs in the world of Munchkin and also the world of Castle Panic. So it's a nice game board for the hybrid that we've created. Now it's holding that upside down. there's it right side up with the castle right there. So give you a nice shot that way.
There's the tentacles.
There we go.
Camera's trying hard to focus. There we go. All right.
Okay. All right. Oops, I folded it the wrong way. I'm just, there we go. It's like I've never played this game before. Oh, and you'll see sitting right on top, there's this fun monster bag for all your monster tokens. So we're excited about that. It's got the Munchkin Brown, you'll notice. And then a bag full of beasties. These are all your monsters and your curses that you'll find in the bag that you'll be fighting. And these are all the monsters from Munchkin, you'll notice, and we have given them health points like from Castle Panic, and then you'll see these little gold dots that indicate how much treasure each of those monsters is carrying with them. So when you slay the monster, you'll be able to get the treasure, which is in the form of these treasure cards. And so we've got the stack of cards right here, and these are shrink wrapped, but again we had to take the shrink wrap off so we could give feedback to manufacturing as soon as possible so we can get the game out to you as soon as possible. So here, well, that's the back of the treasure card right there, and then the treasure cards themselves are based off of Munchkin. So some of the well, just about all of the art is from the base game. I think we had one card that we picked up from an expansion. I can't remember if that was in the treasure deck or the castle deck right now, but you know, most of the art is just pick up from Munchkin, from the wonderful John Kovalik, and we had to translate how the card functions to work in the Castle Panic world, in this new hybrid world. And these treasure cards, you'll be playing. Well, there are different types of the treasure cards. The weapons are the most common treasure type. Let me make sure I have one of those showing. Here we go. Here's the 11-foot pole. You can see the icon for weapon there, and this tells you how it functions. And all of these weapon cards are played with hit cards from the castle deck. And if you're a Castle Panic fan, you'll know that those hit cards are cards that say hit on them. So, for example, this red swordsman you can use to hit a monster for 1 point in the red swordsman ring. And we thought it was clever to make the swordsman a woman. And that art, of course, is picked up from Munchkin. And so you would play your red swordsman with an 11-foot pole to hit the monster in the red swordsman area. This does 1 additional point of damage, so that's 2 points of damage instead of just the typical 1 with a hit card. So these allow for nice card combos. There are also potions, and you'll recognize the potions from Munchkin. Also, we have Potion of Confusion and the Invisibility Potion, and again, those have to work differently in the world of Munchkin Panic than they do in the world of Munchkin. So we did try to pick up the same concepts and translate that concept from Munchkin into Munchkin Panic, so you know, there wasn't a complete disconnect. But of course, you know, since it is a different world, it has to have its own function. So I think you'll actually enjoy those changes. We also have specials, like really impressive title. And again, the art is picked up from Munchkin. And these are just one-offs. Each one of these special cards has a unique effect in the game. Horde, that's always a popular one. You can play that to draw and add 2 more treasure cards to your hand. So you've got the Horde, and you've got that card. Loaded die, this allows you to place a monster in the arc of your choice when you're placing it on the board. So again, all those treasure cards have a unique effect on the game. The potions do not have to play with hit cards. The only treasure cards that have to be played with the hit cards are the weapons. So, and you can only play 1 weapon with 1 hit card, but you could chain up with a hit card, well, multiple hit cards, a weapon, and a potion if you wanted to, and you might even have a special that comes into effect. So you could have a massive, you know, card combo and maybe take out the Plutonium Dragon or something. So, so this is the castle deck. That's the back of the cards. Right there. And then in addition to the hit cards we have, which again you'll recognize from the titles, the names of these from Castle Panic, and then the art from Munchkin. And the function is exactly the same as in Castle Panic. It's basically just hitting a monster for 1 point in the area of the board that the card indicates. So those will be very familiar to Castle Panic players, and new fun for Munchkin players who haven't discovered Castle Panic yet. In addition to the hit cards, and of course we've got the heroes and the any color cards that you'll be familiar with. We also have curses, and these are some of my favorite cards in the whole game. They are picked up in terms of art and title from Munchkin, but I had a blast translating these into the world of Munchkin Panic and how they might change function in this hybrid world. Let Justin get a shot there. My favorite, I think, is Chicken on Your Head curse. When this curse is played on you, and let me iterate that when you have these curses in your hand, you can use these to play against other players if you're trying to gain an advantage. Chicken on Your Curse, you play this card, and all the other players have to choose, randomly select 1 treasure card. They have to place it on their head like this, and so they don't know what card is on their head, and then you're looking around at all the cards and you pick one that you can use to put into your hand. So So that's going to be a fun addition to the game. We also have specials in addition to those cards. You'll recognize, or you may remember if you're a Castle Panic fan, we've had the Barbarian card that can slay any monster anywhere on the board. But for Munchkin Panic now it's the Super Munchkin. So we've picked up that art, and the function is from the Barbarian, so I'm excited about that. That also reminds me actually of the hero. Just wanted to point this out. If you're a Munchkin fan, you'll recognize this art is from Mithril Armor. And I decided not to use Mithril Armor in this game because I thought that was the perfect hero illustration for Munchkin Panic. So I think that's kind of a fun use of that art. We also have other specials you'll recognize if you're a Castle Panic fan. The Fortify Wall, but now we have the art from Munchkin. And actually those are pieces of art that Gabby Runes, our layout artist, was able to pick up and combine and create a new illustration for Munchkin Panic for Fortify Wall that's still from the Munchkin world. And this was originally a curse in Munchkin, and we used the art for that for the draw 2 cards. We thought it was just perfect with the 2 cards there, so we've done things like that. Wandering Monster is a new castle card for this game, and I just love the idea of that, you know, Wandering Monster, minding his own business, you know, walking around the corner, and so this allows you to move a monster, so it does have a different function in the game than Munchkin does. So anyway, there are also fun things. Help me out here, out to lunch. Instead of tar, we now have a flask of glue, and you can see the dwarf stuck in glue there. In Driving Back, instead of showing the monster being driven back, now we have some art from Munchkin showing a monster hitchhiking to Toledo. So we thought that was a fun use of that art. So we also have the towers and walls and fortification and glue token. So all the tokens you need here. I'm going to pour those out and then get a shot of these. You can see that instead of just our standard towers and walls, Justin has created a Munchkinized version of the walls and towers. So it continues with that different look on the board. So when you have that Munchkinized board, you also have the Munchkinized towers and walls. So, and I love the little glue token that Justin made. And then you can see the fortifications here also. I'll turn those around. So, and then that was just picked up from the art that Gabby put together so that we could create those walls. And then of course we have our stands, plastic stands, yay! And this really super cool, you know, within these, 12, ho-hum stands that everyone will be glad that they have. We also have this very cool Munchkin die. Let me see, let me make sure I have this turned the right way so you can see the little Munchkin guy there.
There we go.
Yep. And this is an exclusive. We met with Phil and the gang down at Steve Jackson Games headquarters, and they let us pick out a custom color for the game, and the only way you can get this frosted purple Munchkin die is if you buy Munchkin Panic. So it's the only way so if this is worth $39.95 to you, the only way you can get it is buying the game. You'll enjoy the game too, but that's a fun little exclusive you get as well. So, and as I was playtesting Munchkin Panic, I really was finding that if you're more of a Castle Panic player, you really didn't want a whole lot of backstabbing, and in the rules we have a way that you can play by taking out the curses. And I think there's one other modification, the curse cards that you play on each other. Oh, and I think we allow you to trade instead of negotiate. which, you know, that's a big change that I brought to the game that makes it feel a lot more like Munchkin if you can negotiate a trade with someone. So instead of just trading a card, you get something out of it. So that felt much more Munchkin to me than Castle Panic. But we have rules, you know, ways to make it more Castle Panic if you don't like as much backstabbing. But I felt like the players that really love Munchkin and love that backstabbing, we needed to have a way of amping up that backstabbing. So we came up with the More Munchkin mini expansion that comes in the game itself. So this is not a separate purchase, it comes in the game, and it comes with, first of all, character cards, and these are based on the races and classes from Munchkin that you'll recognize, and you cannot lose your race or class. You get to pick it at the beginning of the game, and you maintain that character for the entire game, and you have a special ability and also a nemesis. So let's take the warrior for example. If you're the warrior on your play cards phase, you can use up to 2 weapons with each hit card. So normally the rule is just 1 weapon per hit card. The warrior lets you violate that and use 2 weapons per hit card. So if you used 2 hit cards, you could use 4 weapons with that, so that's pretty cool. But the nemesis is the Shrieking Geek. The warrior cannot slay the Shrieking Geek without help. So, and there's the Shrieking Geek monster token, and you can see that he has a black border. Each of the nemesis for each of the characters has that black border, so you can immediately see when it comes out on the board, this is a nemesis. You know, it reminds you that you want to check your character and make sure that you know, you have you know, the rules around, you know, playing with that monster given whatever your character card is. So that's a little handy point of use thing we've added there. It also comes with, well, I'll go ahead, you know, I'll do this one first. It comes with a new castle card, Illusion. It allows you to remove 1 monster from anywhere on the board and replace it with a monster from somewhere else on the board. So, a little math here. If you have 1 monster on the board, you cannot use this card because you don't have another monster that can take its place. So that little math will help. We also have 7 new treasure cards. 2 of them are weapons, new weapons you get to use. The Dagger of Treachery. And because this allows for more treachery, you're going to need something that's going to help you slay those monsters a little more because of the monster enhancers I'm about to tell you about. So with this one, the Dagger of Treachery allows you to damage a monster in the Swordsman ring for 3 additional points. And it reminds you it must be played with a Swordsman or a hero card because of where it works on the board. And then we have the Chainsaw of Bloody Dismemberment. Damage a monster for 3 additional points, must be played with a hit card, so that's anywhere on the board. So that is a very powerful card, which you will need because we now have 5 monster enhancers. With the More Munchkin mini expansion, if you're playing with those rules, there's a significant difference in play, and that's that you no longer have to defend the castle towers. So that means that sometimes if you're in the lead, you're going to want to boost up the monsters so that it's harder for everyone else to win, and you want to help them take out the towers. If you're in the lead, if you have the highest point count in monster points, you want to just take out the towers, take out that castle as fast as you can because you're in the lead. But if you fall behind, you may find yourself, oh, no, hang on, you know, I want to protect those towers a little bit longer so I can get back in the lead. So it creates kind of a new you know, a new timer on the game, a new way you can kind of help control the ending of the game. So I think if you're a Munchkin player, you're really going to enjoy not having to defend the castle anymore. And these monster enhancers, the names and the art are all picked up from Munchkin, and then they have new ways of playing in the game. So let me use like Ancient for example. This is the Ancient monster enhancer, and I'm just going to turn it around where I can
put
read
it a little more this way? There we go.
Yeah. But for me to tell you about it, I need to read it, so now I'm going to have to take a look at it. You rotate a monster under attack to its last point of health. That monster cannot be slain this turn. Draw 1 treasure card. So it helps in the sense that it sets that monster up to be slain, but it prevents whoever the current player is from actually getting that kill. So you might want to play that if you're the next player and you've got cards that you can play to take it out, because you're preventing your opponent from getting the monster, and then you're able to take that monster. So, and then you get a treasure card for delaying the kill also. So
Devious.
yes, very devious. So you'll enjoy those cards and enjoy the game. And now I've got it just spread out everywhere. So
I can't fit it in the frame.
Yeah. So we're very excited about it. Let me show you that cover one more time. And we think everyone else is going to have just a blast with this. We can't wait to play with everyone. And we'll have more on all the components and more to tell you about it later. Thanks so much.